Hi guys, it's Cressey. We're about to give you a tour of the new Cressey Performance facility here in Hudson, Mass. As you can see, we're out here in the parking lot. What's nice about this parking lot is a lot of our guys can come out here and long toss if there aren't too many cars in the way. It's a little over 300 feet in all. Obviously gets a little tricky if you get some people parked back here during the day, but with that said, we'll kind of come inside and take a look at what you have to see. So we're fortunate to be right in the back of the building, which means we kind of have our own lobby here. Easier for giving people the directions to find the building. You just walk right in and take a left, you're here. So you can see we actually even got our signage up, but you'll still get the experience nonetheless. So you come in the office, first person that'll greet you is our office manager, Michelle. As you see along the wall, my business partner Pete's actually gone to great lengths to do a little decorating with some of the shirts that a lot of our athletes have trained here have given us. See a little Cressey Performance clothing in the background, including one of our more popular taglines that's kind of gotten out there in the internet world. Kind of going through the office, a little more of an international feel with some of the jerseys that we have with Lori Lindsay's Team USA jersey. Congratulations on your gold medal, Lori. Tim Collins' Team USA jersey. Another one, Jake Sprague's USA Rugby jersey will be over there. Just kind of an area where guys can chill out in here. Some parents during kids' evaluations. We've got our kangaroo court fines here. We've got our Daniel O'Connor signed gloves, as well as Morgan Alexander's bobsled helmet from the 2006 Olympics. Looking at here, you got my office. This is where our facility mascot Tank hangs out. Our manual therapy room, where Nate Tiplety and Chris Howard do a lot of their manual therapy, whether it's massage, active release, Graston, chiropractic. Off in the corner, Tony, Chris, and Greg have the big corner office. We've got our staff lounge, and then my business partner Pete handles that corner office so we can scope the place out. What's kind of interesting about this office space, it's actually larger than the footprint of our entire original facility. So we've grown quite a bit over the years. We're going to walk out to the gym. You'll notice the Discover Your Potential tagline, which has been one of our kind of our big messages from the beginning. One of the first things that I really wanted to emphasize to our athletes as they came in is that we are part of a big family, and that there are resources available to you who can help you, talk you through the process, but also inspire you and show you what it takes to compete at a high level. So this first kind of ring of jerseys I think is really important in demonstrating that. Tim Collins actually pitched last night at Fenway for the Royals. A lot of people don't know Tim actually didn't get a single Division I look. Was an undrafted free agent right out of high school and made it to the big leagues in about 3 years. Steve Cishek didn't get a single Division I look, drafted as a 4th rounder out of a Division II school. Made a dramatic improvement and got to the big leagues as a closer with the Marlins. Kevin Youkilis, in the Boston area, doesn't need a whole lot of introduction. Uke was a senior sign out of college, didn't get a whole lot of college interest, and almost 10 years of service time now. Brian LaHare, a lot of people called him a career minor leaguer. Sure enough, he worked hard, became an all-star this year. Tristan Magnuson, big league debut with the A's last year. Tristan didn't even make his high school team in his sophomore, junior year. Actually got an academic scholarship to Louisville, walked on their baseball team, and did some impressive things as a supplemental pick. So these guys are all examples of what it takes to be successful if you weren't blessed with genetic abilities to just be this unbelievable big league athlete. These are all guys that had to work hard in the cage, on the field, in the weight room to get where they needed to be. So we kind of resonate that with a quote up ahead. We are what we repeatedly do. Excellence, therefore, is not an act, but a habit. As you kind of slide back across this way, we're really fortunate to have some help from New Balance in terms of making this facility nice and outfitting our staff, so we're very appreciative of that. 3 training tables right across the front. We do our assessments there. We do a lot of our arm care stuff right there. We may do foam rolling, work with the stick up on the table as well. Kind of progressing along here, you see there's still some bare walls as we're getting some jerseys framed and they haven't quite arrived yet. They will be a little bit more decorative. This is a new addition to the facility that we haven't done in previous ones. This will be an autograph wall for all of our pro guys. So every time they come and start up, we'll throw a signature up there. So over the course of time, it should fill up pretty quickly. One of the things that we've encountered at our facility in the past is that a lot of our athletes like to stick around, hang out after they're done training. And that's an environment we absolutely wanted to nurture. We want this to have a family feel, hence the CP family hashtag. So athlete lounge, ping pong table, microwave, fridge, TV, Xbox, couch to hang out on. These chairs will split out right on here so guys can get food in our cafeteria down the hall and chow down here. What I think is great about this is it's not just a place to hang out, but it's also a place where A lot of our higher level athletes probably stick around from training earlier in the day, and they probably rub elbows with a lot of our younger athletes as they come to this warm-up area. So there's a lot of direct interaction of kids of younger ages with professional athletes and vice versa. So I think it keeps us all accountable to one another, and that's a big, big deal. So we'll come to the warm-up area, got the warm-up up on the board. Folks can all grab their individualized programs out of the box. They roll out, do the lacrosse ball work with the tiger tail to stick. We've made you our warm-up area right in here. We're fortunate to have a 45-yard sprinting straightaway, which is pretty valuable here in the wintertime in particular, when there's not as much space or good weather to move around with. So this is actually slightly longer than our previous spaces distance, so definitely a little bit more room to move around. As we come down along here, what I'm really excited about is kind of this panoramic view that the see-through garage doors provide. So first time it snows out here in New England, or when the fall leaves are looking good, we get this nice panoramic view as you look all the way around the facility. Down here on the side, we've got hurdles, where we do some of that on the turf. It all wraps up with the crash wall down on the end. We've got kegs down there for doing carries and things like that. Speed chains as well. As you walk along, kettlebells, tires, sledgehammers, plow boxes, sleds for sprinting on the turf as well. One thing that we always emphasize early on is that we never wanted our business model to dictate our training model. So we knew we were going to be dealing with a lot of baseball players, and as a result, we wanted to design a facility that would allow them to give them the specific things that they need in light of their unique demands from the game of baseball. So as you can see, ultra-wide med ball wall. We may have 4 or 5 guys going on this at the exact same time. Super important for developing rotational power. In many cases, we'll pair that up with some table stuff, whether it's arm care work or some kind of hip flexibility drill. So having this here is really helpful. We also have the double wide cages in our facility. One of the things that we ran into in our previous facilities, we only had 1 cage. It wasn't quite wide enough, so guys would sometimes catch their foot in the netting. In this scenario, we went a little bit wider to obviously take care of that reasons. We also put a black background behind the pitcher down there so the catchers could actually see what they were doing. And then as you come into the inside cage, this is our long toss cage, this is our weighted ball cage. This is just a place for guys to kind of do their warm up before they actually come in. So we'll walk over here as we get some music playing in the background from somewhere. We've got our sleds, we've got our farmer's walk area, so we get this nice path right along here to do our strongman stuff. So also have a free slide board that we can use for any kind of reverse lunge, slide board push-up variations, anything along with the racks or the dumbbells. And go all along this distance. As we come around, you'll notice that we've got slide boards, extreme core trainers down on the end. We've got some chain attachments where we want to do some lateral sled drags as we come through here. The other thing that's really nice about this turf area in particular is all these cages slide back, so we can open it up and get an additional big chunk of turf to do change of direction stuff. We want to do some boot camp stuff in the morning. And obviously we've got some of the inspirational quotes up on the wall so people can work with those. Quickly coming through here, last few things we wanted to highlight. A lot of what we do is dealing with overhead throwing athletes. So as a result, we wanted to make sure that we took some of those unique demands into mind. So what you'll see, a lot of safety squat bars, which take a little bit of stress off being in that externally rotated position. Giant cambered bar, kind of the same thing. TRX at every rack. As we come back over to the deadlift stations, we've got 3 trap bars plus more of a conventional pulling station with a deadlift bar. Bumper plates, chains, we've got multi-purpose bar for some neutral grip pressing, thick bar if you want a little bit extra grip work, obviously dumbbells, benches, functional trainers with a few different attachments in both places, plus all the goodies. You may see some softball grips for pull-ups thanks to the guys at Diesel Crew, so that was a pretty cool gift. Bands hanging in the back, so definitely a lot of different fun stuff that people can play with and stuff that makes our job easier as we work with not just baseball players but with all kinds of clients from different walks of life. So that's the brief tour. We appreciate you taking the time to check this out, and hopefully we'll see you soon.